Welcome to Zambia's #1 football podcast with me, your host, Musuku Mwape. And tonight we are talking all things the FIFA World Cup, which is indeed kicking off in just under 2 hours from now. But obviously, we know that before that, we'll get to have the opening ceremony and we'll be able to speak to all that. Joining me on set is my producer and the evergreen Mark. He's the producer. That's how I'm even pitching him to people. I'm saying, concerning this issue, I will speak to you once the producer has actually said something. So Kalembe is also joining us. Kalembe, thank you so much for making time to join this podcast, Talking Bola 360. We believe this is Zambia's #1 podcast, and we are just getting warmed up. So, gentlemen, welcome along. I believe we've all seen the talking points and we would like to get straight into it. But just making sure that we are all getting each other, we can say hi. Kalimbe, we have Mark on the other side and you have me here. Going forward, we hope that you gentlemen can call as many of your friends as possible to be able to join us, even as we look at the World Cup and what it promises to bring for us. But so much so about the introductions. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Glad to also meet Mr. K there. And happy World Cup.
Happy World Cup indeed. Mr. K.
Thank you very much. I'm in a bit of a noisy place. I hope you guys won't mind. I'm really happy to join the podcast and share football knowledge with. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Though you were cutting off a bit, but you're audible now.
Yes. Okay, I'm in a bit of a noisy place, but I'm okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invite to the podcast. I'm looking forward to sharing football knowledge with you guys, and have a lovely World Cup. I hope you boys enjoy it as much as I will.
Awesome. Wonderful. Musuku, are you there?
Oh, I muted myself and I was talking to myself. So sorry. I was saying that let's get straight into it. And first on the talking points is African teams' chances. But before that, the hula baloo that has been surrounding the World Cup, we've seen that UEFA has done a number on FIFA by inviting Omar Atta to go and officiate the Super Cup. Your thoughts, just under 30 seconds, gentlemen. I'll start with you, Mark. What do you make of UEFA's gesture rather, to invite Omar Atta to go and officiate the Super Cup after being denied entry into the USA?
It's a very good gesture from FIFA or from UEFA. Sorry. One, of course, will think about it if it is a political move or it is just out of the kindness of their hearts that they have done it. But nonetheless, we appreciate what they have done for one of our own, the Somali referee Atan. Unfortunate what has happened with him. He really deserves to be there to showcase his skill and brilliance, being the 2025 Africa Referee of the Year. So happy for him. Sad how everything went, but all things work together for our good.
Indeed. Okay, under 30 seconds, what are your thoughts? Do you think this is a move that is a face saver for UEFA, or a dig at FIFA? How do you look at it? He's dropped off. Okay, he will be able to join us as we progress. let's get straight into it. A record-breaking African teams at this FIFA World Cup, obviously with the expansion to 48 teams. We have 10 representatives. How do you rate the chances going to this in this tournament now that we have 10 teams now representing the continent? Do you think this is the time now Africa can go a step further and reach the finals for the very first time, Mark?
It's an amazing opportunity for African football to showcase how the game has developed on the continent. We have had progression in the past editions of the World Cup. We had Ghana in South Africa doing wonders. We also had who was that one? Morocco, who went on and reached the semis, only being eliminated by France by a lone goal to nil, which showed develop- development in. Hello? Am I still on? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Your headsets are just giving us a bit of feedback, but you are overall okay. But your headsets are just, but you're okay otherwise. We can hear you.
Feedback. Okay.
A sound
Let
of
me
some
see.
sort.
Is this better?
Yeah. That's okay. You can go on.
Okay, so I was saying we have made progress as Africa at the World Cup. The past editions, we even had reached the semi-finals with Morocco, and having more teams will only up the chances for Africa. And we have seen, even in the preparations and even just the strength of the teams have improved. Look at Cote d'Ivoire, you look at Senegal, Morocco, of course, having had that deep run last time out. You also have teams like South Africa who have massively improved, and we'll see what they are able to offer at the showpiece.
Hey, okay, are you with us? Are you able to hear? If you are, what are your thoughts? How do you rate African
I think
teams' chances of success?
he has dropped
He has
off.
dropped off.
I can't see him in the
Okay.
studio.
Right. So we'll quickly move to I keep getting kicked out of the stream. Not sure what could be the challenge there. Probably network issues, yes?
Probably.
Yeah, probably network issues there. But we'll nonetheless progress. So based off what you have said, I'm inclined to agree. We are seeing also the development of our African teams really looking like we can go a step further. Would be interesting to see. Maybe the conditions also. Hi K, probably it's the issue of network. I've seen your message. I'm not able to respond. It's refusing to
He's
get
back
sent.
on?
Yeah, it's back on. So I'm sure you just keep trying joining. Probably network isn't being friendly to us tonight, but nonetheless we'll try. Whilst we still have you, your quick thoughts on African teams' chances at this year's tournament.
I think our chances, looking at the fact that the number of teams has increased, I think we have a decent chance of having another team in the semi-finals. Of course, like everyone else, I won't be rooting for South Africa because of everything that's going on. That's going on with Africans over there. But I am hoping that teams like Morocco, Senegal can go as far as they can because they've really shown growth. They've had most of their players have actually had very good exposure playing against these top players that are going to be there at the World Cup. So our chances as African teams there are very huge. I think when we go
Yeah.
back to the 32 teams format, I think we'll still have a decent number of African teams going to the World Cup.
I agree with you. And just whilst you are still at it, I would like you to team or two that you are supporting. But who do you think, other than that team, you can obviously add it on the list, but who are your favorites? Looking at them, squad quality, player abilities, and just being able to go the strength of the tournament. Mind you, there are going to be more games than the previous World Cups. So who are the favorites there, Kay?
And so is this for the all-round World Cup, or maybe it's just
Yeah.
African teams?
All round.
Uh, all round. I think all round. Number one is definitely France. They have everything. France is the team that has everything. Yes, their defense might be here and there, their midfield, but it's still world class. Yes, and I think they might go as far as the finals. We have Spain, who are European champions, have quite a young team, very skilled and technically gifted players. I think they'll also go further. My number one team, the team that I'm supporting this year, strictly this year, is Portugal. I think they have everything a team needs to win the World Cup. Of course, there are arguments that their number one striker, is very old and holding them back. But if you look at the qualifiers, he's the guy that had scored the most goals for them. So it's a no-brainer that he starts. And I feel like they actually stand a better chance with him because he's been in these particular situations much more than the other guys. You've got their midfield, which is young but very good. So they'll need a guy that's going to lead. And I feel like him and Bruno Fernandes are the ones that are going to step up in those moments. I also wouldn't I wouldn't count out England. They have a decent team. We'll see what the coach does with the English team. Yeah, I think these are the teams that are really going to push the World Cup. And then Morocco, Morocco would definitely touch a quarter final.
Wow, that's a huge call. I'm taking you for it. What do you think of Senegal? Since you've spoken of Morocco, what do you think of Senegal when you look at them?
Senegal also a decent team, but I think Senegal might actually shock us. It's one of those teams that you regard as the dark horse of the tournament. African teams, I feel like what happens most of the times why we don't really go so far. It's I think it's the big stage, the nerves on the big stage. But if you look at Senegal, they have one of the most balanced teams at the World Cup, and I feel like they are capable of being the dark horse together with Norway. Yeah, those two teams are capable of ruining other teams' hopes at the tournament.
True. I think it dropped, it cut off as well.
I am back.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys are still on, yes?
Yes, I'm still on.
Oh yeah. Please go on if you haven't finished your thoughts.
No, I am done. I've spoken about who I think is going to be a dark horse. Yeah.
Right. Mark, quickly, on the same, what are your sentiments on the overall favorite? And I also want you to speak to what Kay has spoken, which is the lazy argument of Portugal not going anywhere because they have a quote unquote older striker. even as you attack the subject of favorites.
Okay, so perhaps I start with the Portugal argument.
Mm,
It Ronaldo has always been spoken against by the media, and there are always these agendas. Last World Cup, even as far back as 2010, I remember when he went to the World Cup 2010, there were issues. Him and the media have had a toxic relationship, especially when it's World Cup time. Remember the first World Cup that he had with Portugal, the Rooney incident, and there was all of
mm,
that confusion, and then coming into this World Cup as well. But you remember that Portugal are where they are. In fact, they're even in this World Cup or won their Nations League or even the Euro because of Cristiano Ronaldo. So to come and say
mm,
Cristiano Ronaldo is old, he's washed, I think is not quite educated a comment to make.
mm,
Um, you realize if there's one person that you shouldn't doubt is Cristiano Ronaldo. He has made a reputation on proving people wrong. And I believe with the quality that he has behind him, with Vitinha, João Neves, and Bruno as well, and we're also forgetting Bernardo Silva as well, being there, and the other part of the starting 11 like Cancelo and Nuno Mendes on the flanks. He'll be fed in the box, and we know how clinical he can be. Nonetheless, who else are they going to play up front if not Ronaldo? You can't say Gonzalo Ramos is going to take that place because he hasn't been consistent. Even for PSG, they opt to play Dembele up front or anyone else. Gonzalo usually plays from the bench, and that will be his role even during this World Cup. Roberto Martinez will do well to put the best 11 on the field and the best players. And Cristiano is the best striker, even to date. So why not play your best players? I think
mm.
that's what I can say concerning that. Uh,
Yeah.
whether people like
Overall
it or not.
favorites.
Overall favorites,
Mm,
I'll have to go with if Lamine and Williams were fit, I would have said Spain, but I'll say France. Of course, they are stacked with talent. Uh, the ones that I would put second would be Spain, just because of the quality that they have in the middle of the park, in the goalkeeping department. They are stacked as well. Who would I put as third? I would say Portugal. They are well balanced up front. They have quality defense. They have quality. So it could be their time to reach at least the semi or a final, and then see where they go from there. Fourth, I would say England. Of course, I'm wearing the the England jersey, but the only reason I would say England isn't necessarily, of course, they have quality on the field, but we know England's problems with tournaments. They can't just finish. The only reason I would put them that high is because of their coach, Thomas Tuchel, a very good tournament coach, German mentality, very, even the way that he assembled his squad is very methodical, and we'll see if that pays off. And the other one that I would put and believe they can go deep is Brazil. No, it's not the same Brazil as we're used to,
mm,
but they
mm,
can definitely go deep, especially if Vini and Rafinha can kick on. And of course, the talisman Neymar, if he can
mm,
rewind and remind the world why he is Brazil's all-time leading goal scorer, then Brazil have the chance to do wonders. Also, just a dark
Interesting.
horse, I think we'll have
Mhm.
a good tournament, Colombia.
Colombia.
There's just something about that squad.
Interesting. And your biggest call for an African team? Kay has said Morocco will reach the quarterfinals for you.
Okay. Senegal in Ivory Coast.
Senegal and Ivory
I think
Coast. Interesting.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's quickly move on. Let's look at the game that is opening the tournament. We'll come to the other two items at the very end. So South Africa versus Mexico. Mexico, if you like. Mexico versus South Africa. 16 years on from that much famed goal, Sipiwe Shabalala goal, and that poetic commentary by Peter Drury that echoed across the continent and the world at large, which we've seen a lot of replays today, and people just
and the iconic celebration.
that the iconic celebrations too. Wow, how did I forget that? So, are we going to see another iconic commentary? Okay, I know. Forget what is happening in South Africa, but are we likely again to have that Peter Drury moment where we get to hear "Go for South Africa, go for all Africa"? Are we going to see Bafana dance tonight, purely on football
At the
basis?
South Africa actually have a decent team. They have a very strong team. They have a very good goalkeeper. They have very good midfielders. I think when you look at African football itself, you look at South African football, it tells you how much progress we're actually making as a continent in terms of football, because South Africa are now playing some of the most decent football in Africa, which actually makes me sad because if you go back to 2012, we were better than South Africa. I feel like where South Africa are right now is where our country should be. Despite that, I feel like despite that, I feel like they'll probably give Mexico a run for their money. Mexico is not really a strong team, I'd say. Yes, of course they have Jimenez, who probably trouble the South African defense, but I feel like we are going to have a Mokoena free kick who probably score a world class goal, and we're probably going to have the same commentary by Peter Drury if he is covering the games today. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a very fair contest, and I feel like for an opening game, this one might actually end up being a draw, in my opinion, a 2-2 draw or a 1-0 draw.
Yes, Amak, what do you say? He's calling a 2-2 draw. Mark, you are muted.
You're the one who has put me on mute.
No, that was by mistake then.
You are
so
trying to silence my voice.
No, we have opened your voices. Are you seeing a scoring draw as well? Are you seeing a magical Mokoena free kick?
Well, South Africa has developed into a highly technical team, mainly because of the investments of Mamelodi Sundowns, and we see the influence of the Sundowns squad on the national team. You talk about Mokoena, Mudau, Ronwen Williams. You talk about, is it Akram Adams, if I'm not mistaken. So they have quality in their midst, in every department, I think, except maybe going forward. Mofoken will be very important in that department. Very enterprising young forward striker. So we'll see how he goes about this game. We saw also the quality of Sundowns during the Club World Cup. They were able to go punch for punch with some of the heavyweights from across the world. So definitely that quality is still there, and South Africa won't roll over. Coming to Mexico, they have a decent squad. They have a decent squad. They are not. They've never been. They've always been a very difficult team to beat across all the World Cups that they've been to. They've always been compact, but they've never really surprised or shocked people at the World Cup. So maybe this time around, I saw they were saying they want to win it.
But they have
It's not a joke. I
they,
don't know why you're
of,
laughing. It's not a joke.
of the three host nations, I think they have a decent chance of progressing further than the other two of their
Yes.
hosts.
With
I think
with Raul
they have a decent
Jimenez,
squad.
of course, with Raul Jimenez up front, he's going back to Wolves, by the way. So Gilberto Mora in midfield, the young lad, very good attacking midfielder. I would lean mostly to a Mexico win, like maybe a 1-0 Mexico win. We've lost the host. Mr. K, you here?
Being here for too long, this is our first edition, so we'll keep it short and sweet so that we can come back tomorrow for more or the other days. So quickly, Kay said a 2-0 draw, and you've called it in favor of Mexico, which will be an ideal start for the hosts. A quick thoughts on which players do you think are the ones for UK? Which players should we look for out for at this year's World Cup? And if possible, if you can go a step ahead, who is our next James Rodriguez for the 2026 World Cup?
Okay. This is a very talent-packed World Cup. It's actually very difficult to tell who's going to be our next James Rodriguez. But I feel like the players to look out for is the young Yao Neves from PSG,
Yeah.
Desiree Doué from France, Ryan Cherky. I feel like Haaland is also going to have a very decent. Is going to have a very decent tournament.
Okay.
I'm very much looking forward to Norway's games, because for me Norway is actually the dark horse. They have a very decent team. Then also
Norway
another
versus
player to look
Senegal.
out for is the young Adagula.
Mhm.
The young Adagula with Turkey. I think he's only 21, and he's already leading Turkey to a World Cup. He's actually taken up the role, more or less the Ronaldo role for Turkey already. I feel like he's going to be very decent. And then I think who else? Who else? I think you look at the players in the Brazilian squad. I think they are going to have a very good tournament. Vini Jr. has a point to prove. Rafinha will have a point to prove. Um, you also go to the Spain national team. If Lamine Yamal can stay fit, I think he's going to be the player of this tournament. Yes. You also look at Julian Alvarez with Argentina. You look at anyway. Majority of these players are the young ones, but let's not rule out the old ones. I think Messi will still have a good tournament as usual. Ronaldo will have a very decent tournament as well. Um, I'll also put in Fabian Ruiz for Spain. That's because I remember I actually argue that he should have won the player of the tournament over Rodri. Will be that it's going to be very difficult to predict our James Rodriguez. But for me, Ryan Sheikh, I think he's going to be the player that shocks everyone.
Interesting cause there. And Mark, in the same line, players to look out for, and then who is your possible Enzo Fernandez of this year's World Cup?
Well, the World Cup can be unpredictable. Of course, no one ever saw James Rodriguez winning the MVP of the tournament that time. We saw him come through for Colombia with those massive goals etched in World Cup history. We saw Enzo Fernandez have a stellar campaign, first campaign in the World Cup. For the debutants, as those that are making their debuts, of course, he mentioned the Cherkis, the Vitinhas, the Desire Doué. I'll say a few names, of course, leaning into Africa. I mentioned Mofokeng for South Africa. I'll mention Yan Diomande, who is one of the most sought after wingers and playing his trade for Ivory Coast in the World Cup. Iliman Jai, of course, we know him from the Premier League, but he will be central to keeping that Senegalese attack going and firing. We can look at Jude Bellingham as well. Very influential, very prolific midfielder, and he will be at the heart of everything good that England will do creatively. Partnering up with Harry Kane, who is having an epic season so far, having scored over 60 goals. For the ones that I'll mention also Ryan from Brazil. He might not be a starter. Endrick as well. And there's another player, youngster from Egypt, who just signed for Barcelona. I've forgotten his name.
Oh yeah. I've seen that, but I've also forgotten his name.
They signed him directly from the academy, Al Ali's academy. And Egypt doesn't really do European transfers, but first of its kind. So looking forward to how the youngster goes about his first World Cup as well. So those are kind of the players that we can look to. Of course, for the others, we know I'd mention Ecuador or Ordonez. I think will be playing right back. He plays centre back sometimes. So he also will be important to a very well-drilled Ecuador backline.
Oh, I think I'll go for the young Argentine. I forgot. Is it Paz? Paz? What's his name?
Oh, Nico Paz.
Nico Paz.
Forgot about him.
Yeah, Nico Paz. But again,
that just
Nico
shows
Paz
how many youngsters they are at the World Cup.
Yeah. Nico Paz is one to watch, guys. Don't sleep on the kid. It's maybe unfortunate for him because I do not think this Argentina squad has it in them to go as far as they went last time out. But let's enjoy him. Let's see how many opportunities he gets. But that kid is one to watch for sure. Okay, lastly, guys, we have Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, Luka Modric, and the legendary Mexico keeper, Sadio Mane, and the legendary Mexico goalkeeper Ochoa bowing out potentially their final World Cups. Thoughts, guys? Thoughts? I know we are all rooting for a Ronnie World Cup to bid farewell to the world stage. Is that going to happen? A fairy tale ending. Okay, let's start with K. And as you finish, K, you can even say your final thoughts as well. So as we wrap up.
Mbappe.
I think I can't.
You're breaking. You're breaking.
Okay. Now you're audible. Hello? Okay, the audio isn't coming through.
Okay, we can let you sort out the network issue for now. Mark, you can just jump on what I had asked him, and then as he comes back, he will come and speak, and then we wind up.
Well, we are having some of the best players of our generation, professional, proper footballers bowing out, Ballon d'Or winners, and they've given us a whole lot of magic and football moments over the years, and the game will definitely not be the same without them, especially Ronaldo, Messi, and what they have given to this generation. Their battle, of course, has been legendary. It'll be sad. It'll be very sad. For Ronaldo, I hope he gets his hands on the trophy. If there is someone who deserves it, he does. He has pushed. He has pulled Portugal to be where they are, of course, with the support of others. But he has been the main man in that Portuguese side over the years, scoring the goals, the clutch moments, and so on. So, well, by God's good grace, I hope he gets it. It will be one of those moments that will be etched in football history. Messi got his own the other time round. It will be very good to see. For Modric as well, one of the greats. You look at even others, Sadio Mane, probably if for me, he's the greatest African player of the past 10 years. He has won everything: Champions Leagues, AFCONs. We have seen him lead this Senegal side, and him bowing out after all he has done for Senegalese football. Well storied. Also, Koulibaly and probably Idrissa Gueye as well bowing out. Uh, it's a whole lot. There will be emotions, definitely.
Yeah, there will be emotions definitely, and I think we'll have to leave it there so that we can continue with the emotions the next time of interaction. Otherwise, thank you so much. I'll be in touch with Kate to just let him know that this is where we ended. But thank you for showing up. Enjoy the game,
Thank you.
and we'll meet again to discuss more on what happens on the field.
Sure. Thank you.